This time, a little bit later. So far, a 10-hour drive has taken 14 hours, and I still have an hour and a half left. So, yeah, it's turned out to be kind of a long day. But nevertheless, it's a necessity. I'm doing it, and we're on the way. Start getting a little bit more involved in conversation once somebody comes in. Don't see anybody here yet. It says I'm live. I hope it knows I'm live. We've got just a lot of people on the roads. A lot of people. And evidently a lot of people who don't know how to drive, because there's been a number of wrecks I've seen on my drive down here. One of the more impressive things, though, are the power trucks. They're from every damn state where available and where I could. I've started taking a couple of shots of their license plates. But this is it's been a hell of a day, guys. It's been one of those right, you were just watching my last live. That was many hours ago, and I was in South Carolina, and from South Carolina to the point where I am right now should have taken, I'm going to say, probably 4.5 hours. And I don't even remember what time that was, 11 or noon, and it's 7 o'clock here now. So yeah, we are indeed heading into overtime here. Yeah, I'm there yet. You can see how the highway's moving. Got a decent amount of damage in this area. A lot of trees down. Let's see if I can move this so you can see the side of the highway. You see there's a lot of trees down. There's some trees that fell basically on the highway, but they were cut before we came through, so you could see fresh cuts on the trees. And I don't know how many of these. There's an Xfinity truck from Maryland, another Xfinity truck, and that one's from Virginia. Looks like the lane to the right of me is moving faster than I am. Doesn't matter, as soon as I switch lanes, the traffic will slow down in that lane. That's just how things work for me. Yeah, I've heard from Eric a few times. We're gonna make an attempt to get together tomorrow, but I don't know. He's got most of his stuff cleaned up, and I've got to clean up around my dad's place. And see, my job down here is to see what kind of damage my dad has. So if things aren't too bad, which I don't think they are, he lost his carport. And so an aluminum overhang for cars just outside of his door. It was attached to the house, so it was ripped away from the house. And so we have to figure out exactly what's going on with that and how to get it fixed if we can. But what's the holdup? Yeah, I don't know. I wish I did. This is going to turn into nearly a 15-hour drive, and it's supposed to take 10. I started at 5 o'clock this morning, so I'm already on 14 hours now, 7:07. I left at 5:03. And I'm not even quite to Tampa yet. I'm still north of Tampa. And Dad, I I called him. He was in Brunswick, South Carolina, and I said, "Yeah, why don't you go ahead and scoot on out and head home? And if you can't get in or something, you'll just have to wait somewhere down there for me, and I'll help you get in." And he said, "Okay." So they headed out, and like there wasn't a problem at all. I mean, they had a couple of little hitches and hang-ups, but they made it home. Made it home just fine. And I'm 2 hours behind them. They've been home for 2 hours now, and I've still got easily an hour left in my drive. So that means they somehow made up 2 hours on me. Don't know how that happens. You can see where we are now. We're 26 miles from Tampa. Still north of Tampa. Driving south on I-75. No weather here now. The weather is actually really nice. It's been it's been nice and clear all day. It was a little bit chilly when I left home, but now it's warmed up quite a bit. So I'm seeing blue lights up ahead. Looks like they're moving. It might be those damn new style headlights, but I think it was it's actually it's highway patrol passed by me going northbound. So yeah, we're not getting anywhere fast, and well, frankly, I'm bored, so I decided to come on and see what everybody was doing. You know what I'm doing? We got everybody at home poking around playing with coins and stuff, and here I am taking the long walk on the highway. My big problem is running out of gas. I have nearly a full tank right now. I've got plenty to get me. Well, in normal traffic, I have plenty to get me all the way to Bradenton without a problem. But in this traffic, who knows when I'll run out of gas. Hopefully not, because, well, there still isn't really any gas in Bradenton where I'm going. This truck right in front of me, in case you're trying to make it out, has a North Carolina plate. There are people helping from North Carolina, believe it or not. And the moron behind me in a Nissan has no headlights on, and it's almost dark. He's got no lights on at all, and he's following about 4 feet away from my tail. And we're going right around 20. Oh well. Getting ready to go to a football game. That's where I wish I was. Going to a football game. That would be nice. Man, there's a lot of trees out here stripped of all of their branches and stuff. There's a lot of wind out here during that hurricane. I'm just kind of sort of right about in the middle of the area that was getting some of the heaviest rain. And I'll get more into that as the trip continues. When I get to Interstate 4, which will be, I don't know, probably 25 miles from here. So in another 3.5, 4 hours, that will be the mark of the area where the heaviest rain was, at least along I-75. Man, a lot of people out here must have much bigger gas tanks than me because their cars are definitely not getting good gas mileage. I mean, you're talking about this, like this black truck over here coming in on the left. It is diesel. It's loud. It's kind of, I want to say, hillbilly rustic. And they've been driving next to me for probably 40 miles now, 30, 40 miles. My gas tank is actually showing movement since I get on the interstate, which means I'm losing gas to this. That guy's got to be pouring gas out to this. Local high school game. Oh, they're big there? Oh, that's really cool. A local game with a crowd. That's really cool. Smelling sewage around here too. So evidently there's some water issues. Unfortunately, by the time I get down toward Bradenton, where most of the damage is, I am not going to be able to show you anything because it will be dark. Hey, Angie. It's a lot of people from Florida coming back home. There's a lot of people who are, why do I only have 20% battery? I thought I was charging. Oh, now I am. My charger wasn't plugged in, duh. Okay, now it is. So there's another one. Massachusetts National Grid. Massachusetts plated energy truck. Where am I at? I am on I-75 headed south toward Tampa. Well, wasn't supposed to be, but there is a massive slowdown here. I guess it's not really a lot worse than usual, but it is somewhat worse than usual. I'm not used to being stopped in this area. There's the I-4 move over for emergency vehicles. It's the law. Here we go. I-4, 18 miles, 18 to 21 minutes. That would mean you'd be going 60 miles an hour, and that's simply not the case, so their sign needs to be updated. I'm going to guess that I-4 is going to be more like 25 to 30 minutes. What's up, Dirty Water? That's right. Hello! I feel like a cow being led to slaughter here. Oh, here's another power truck. Let's see where they're from. That's the game today. That's the game. What do we got here? Oh, it's Massachusetts again. Here comes another one. Let's see where it's from. There we go. Massachusetts again. So you got a whole train of them from Massachusetts here. Getting to where they're going. It's an office. Probably for the guys from Massachusetts. Hey, look at that. Traffic's picking up again. We're actually going 50 miles an hour. It's like people have power. There are lights. A lot of signs blown out. Like Waffle House signs, stuff like that. A lot of signs blown out. A lot of trees down. It's more the single sole trees, not the not the ones that are in big clusters. In big clusters, they seem to do okay. Yeah, National Grid is who that was. I guess that's a Massachusetts power company. I'm unfamiliar with it because I'm kind of unfamiliar with Massachusetts. I've only been through Mass a couple of times in my life. Yes, I'm alone. Was going to bring Mickey, but he was unable to come with me. But look at the guy, just got to get there yesterday. But anyway, I'd be going so crazy. Oh yeah. Well, it is what it is. You can't worry about being there yesterday when you're driving into a place where a hurricane just went through. So it's obviously going to be a bit on the kind of cantankerous side getting down there. I have probably about $400 or $500 worth of supplies now, and that's just going to be right now stuff. And I don't have gas because I've been told that everyone has their generators off. The power is back on in most areas. So I'm just making my way down there to see where I can help, what I can do for people, and if there's anything I can help them out with cash or anything like that, I'll do that. But I've got a vehicle full of ladders. And, things that people are going to have available to them right away that they'll need are things that I'm trying to think to bring with me. I brought some bottles of cleaning solution, cleaning fluid. It's like a mold rid type stuff, because in case anybody got water inside their house and they cleaned it out, they need to spray this around so that the mold doesn't grow. Let's see. I've got caulk. I've got spray foam. I've got liquid nails. Hello, Eric. There's your man of the hour, Eric Beyer, right there. Eric, I'm finally down to the Tampa area on I-75. Of course, these people are driving like they have never seen a car. This is where I got my anxiety about driving on the interstate in Florida. All right, we are now at the 275 North Split, so I'm entering the Tampa area. Oh, Eric's. Looks like we're having some internet issues. As I've been told will be the case anywhere and everywhere around the Tampa Bay area. And it seems it may be quite some time before really good service. Yeah, I think the thing about driving getting more dangerous as time goes we are giving up the idea of having public driver instruction at schools, teaching kids how to drive before they get their license. We're giving that up in lieu of allowing them to just have a license with a couple of hours experience driving with their parents, and give them a license and let them go after a test. And yeah, we're having just major issues, really. It's all over the country. I don't think anybody's spared. Hello, Bethland. We got your package in. I took a quick look at it, but did not have time to add anything up or really look into it. But I did get the package, so that you can go at ease with. Just remember to send to my address next time. We are back up to speed, to regular interstate speed. And it's getting more and more difficult to see any damage or anything. The camera is actually brightening things a little bit. It's a little darker than it appears. Oh, we still have driving schools too, but they're not a part of the public schools anymore. I think maybe the public schools do offer it, but it's not very common. Well, I mean, that's the way pretty much most everything is as far as society is concerned these days. People care about themselves. And that's kind of a general statement, but in general, it's true. There's a lot of people out there who don't care about anyone but themselves. But anyway, Eric did get a little bit of damage. He got some yard waste stuff. Not real bad, because the winds weren't anything like Ian was. Not for Eric in his area. And while he did get wind and he did get some minor damage, it was nothing like Ian. So, in fact, a lot of people kind of got off easy in this storm compared to what they thought it was going to be. They thought they had forecast this to be a once-in-a-century storm and a huge thing, and it basically turned out to be, for what typical can be a Category 3 hurricane, it was a typical Category 3 hurricane. And it's a very good thing that it did weaken as forecast. When it was all the way over west of the Yucatan Peninsula, still developing into a Cat 1 hurricane, the overall forecast cone, I'm very impressed with this, but the overall forecast cone showed it going exactly where it ended up going, and it also showed it at the strength that it actually ended up having, because there was, and Ryan Hall was right on the mark when he was following the models that said that it was strengthened to a near 200 mile an hour Category 5 hurricane, and then it would weaken before it hit the coast. And the only real question in this was, where would it hit? I think everybody had the wind speed and all that pretty much pegged. That and the fact that it would start to fall apart as it was coming in, and it would get a lot larger, which would push more surge, and all of that came true. And the only thing that did change was the exact path of the storm. They had at one time believed it to go just north of Tampa, and as it turned out, it actually went just south of Sarasota. And so that spared the large population centers of the surge. But unfortunately, with that, it pulled a whole lot more rain around the north edge of the storm, and that's exactly where Tampa and St. Pete sit. So they got the worst of the rain, even though they didn't really get the maximum winds. Oh yeah, and the tornadoes too. Good Lord. I had more tornado warnings that day than any other day in the state of Florida. There were 130 tornado warnings, and so we're only like, I think there were 27 confirmed tornadoes. Oh, there's a power truck from Ontario. How about that? Ontario, Canada. So that pickup truck with the ladders on top of it to my left. From Ontario. We're at exit 265. I get off around exit 10, so I've got 55 more miles, 210. So I've got 55 more miles to drive on the interstate. We are all very blessed and lucky to have had no more of a storm than we do. If this had hit the shore as a 180 mile an hour Cat 5, we'd be talking a completely different story. I think even with 180 mile Cat 5, I think Eric would leave. You'd have everybody flooding Alligator Alley down south, trying to get away from it. All right, thanks, Angie. I appreciate it. My trailer's making it just fine. Trailer and trailer tires and everything doing all right. First long trip this trailer has ever had. Most I've ever driven my trailer in one day is, I'm probably going to go with about 40 miles, maybe 50 miles. And today, it's hundreds of miles in a very long drive. No, I'm going to sleep in my dad's house. I'm gonna go to my dad's place and park it for the night and get up tomorrow morning early and be ready to work. The area where he lives is a retirement community, so there is another guy there who is a little younger and has been helping some of the neighbors around. So when I come in, I'll join him as a crew, and we'll work on repairing people's places around who have called in problems. And hopefully what I have and what I've brought to work with adds to the overall help. Hopefully we get some things done for some people. That's what I'm looking for anyway. Here's the I-4. Of course, they were mostly right. They predicted it would take me 18 minutes to get here. It was 22. So I think it did say 18 to 22 minutes. So once again, they're right. Crossing the Hillsborough River right now. Doesn't look like it's solidly out of its banks, but it's hard to tell. I'm gonna sleep at my dad's place, jump up in the morning ready to start taking care of stuff, inspect my dad's house and see what needs to be screwed down or fixed. I've got my drill with batteries and bits and all that kind of stuff. And I will, hey Joseph, I appreciate it, thank you. My dad is back already. He and his wife, they took off about hour and a half before I got to where they were, and they ended up nearly 3 hours ahead of me getting here. The reason for that is mainly because I'm getting much worse gas mileage and I'm having to stop a lot more often for gas. They haven't stopped at all for gas. So when you don't have to stop for gas, you can basically just fight the traffic and that's it. But I had to look for places where I could stop and actually find gas, which reminds me now I am at 3/4 of a tank, and I'm going to drive nearly a half a tank out getting to Bradenton from here, and hopefully I'll be able to find gas once I get there, because I can tell you the Ocala area is pretty much out of gas. There's a few places that still have it, but in most places, there's a lot of places around here I'm understanding have gas, but it may not be the right kind. Like there's some stations that have diesel only. There's some stations that have the E87 only, and I can't put that in my car. So I'm looking for, the possibility maybe that somebody's got the $4 a gallon gas, the Supreme, and I'd use that if I had to. One is moving, and I don't see a lot of stuff shoved off the side of the roads, meaning, like a lot of debris and stuff. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, we're getting down into the town area. Everything seems to be moving along just fine around here. Lots of water, though. Boy, lots of water in lots of places. Lots of places you don't usually see a lot of water. Yep, and so that's all I've got. The update that I have is that they are safe and back home, and I'm headed there to see what I can do now and what will need to be done when I come back, because I perhaps don't have everything I need, and we'll have to make a list, because I had no idea. I mean, I had a little bit of an idea, but I did not know what I would be running into. So I just loaded up with all sorts of things I thought I might need. Tarps and stuff like that. Anybody needs tarps, I've got tarps. So most stores and most restaurants are closed. The power is mostly on. I'm seeing street lights and lights around buildings and stuff like that generally on. There are still areas where I'm not seeing any light. So yeah, a lot of trees down in this area. But anyway, I'm gonna take off and get myself to a point where I can have some dinner, hopefully before I end up running out of open restaurants. I'm just now in Brandon, so for people who know Florida, I'm at Highway 60 and I-75. So I'll let you go now, and I'll be on the watch out for a place to get some dinner, and then I'll head on in, and I will talk to you folks later. And I haven't been able to read everything simply because I'm trying to drive at night, and it's not easy to read chat while you're driving. So if anybody had anything relay to me, you can send me a message on Messenger, or you can send me a message on email, cd@coppercoins.com, and I will answer you when I stop, when I find a place to eat. And I guess that's all I've got for now. I appreciate it, folks, and I'll talk to you later.